Welcome back. We are starting with our first conversation for this hour. Now, viewpoints podcast is a youth-led YouTube platform sharing real conversations and fresh perspectives on everyday issues. Today, we are joined by the host of this platform, that is Elao Ipinge, as well as the manager of the podcast, that is Advocate Simasiku, to talk to us about the journey, the impact, and the work that goes in behind the scenes. Gentlemen, good morning, and thank you so much for coming to our platform.
Thank you so much. We are honored.
I would like to start with you, Mr. Simasiku, as a manager of the podcast. Could you please talk to us about, the inspiration that came behind this podcast and the name as well, Viewpoints?
Okay. The name was inspired by artists, just one-hit wonders, where you just we hear of an artist, but then years later the artist not being seen anyways. Yeah. So we decided, let's name it Viewpoints, just so at least to accommodate the people that couldn't be seen twice. It's now Viewpoints. The motivation for the podcast is to have a platform where we can actually watch Namibian content. Instead of always watching South African or American content, we have something that's us. Yeah.
How did the creation of the podcast come about? Did you come up with the idea and then find a host, which is Elao, or how did that relationship start?
Well, me and him are friends for the longest.
Okay.
So it's usually just this thing of joking around, let's do something.
Yeah.
Then one day I was like, you know what, we always talk. Yeah. Let's actually do it. Then we just spoke. When we shot our first episode, it took us very long to actually upload it on YouTube because the editing, when you start something, it's always hard. Yeah, but then through all that, we managed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always hard to start, but once you start, you have no choice but to keep going, I guess.
Yeah.
And here you are today.
Yes,
Elao, as the host of this program, talk to us about, your inspiration getting on board with it. I know you guys said you just talk all the time, so why don't we put a camera in front of us when we're having our conversations? But I'm sure there's more to it than just talking. What is it for you?
Okay, the Viewpoints podcast to me means actually a lot because nowadays, it's not all about television, it's more about internet. The internet is taking over. So we thought of something that, okay, let's start a platform whereby we can engage Namibian locals to start communicating about what's going on around us in everyday life, as well as what's happening or what's trending. So we started the Viewpoints podcast, namely just because we wanted to bring relative topics, especially when it comes to youth. Let me say our youth. People are actually just going through a lot, but then they don't know how to go upon it, but then we're also going through the same thing. So we bring guests that go through the same situation just so we can give a helping hand to those that are going through the same situation, but just give a second voice. Yes, ma'am.
Very well. Now, what would you say has the impact been of your podcast on your viewers? How has it been received in society, starting with you and now?
Okay, the impact has been there, I won't lie, because wherever we step, we get feedback, which I know you guys are from the Viewpoints podcast, and for us, we feel low-key, we low-key feel like we appreciate everybody that has been with us and that has been supporting us. But then it has been there. You guys are doing a great job. They are telling us that, and we really appreciate everyone. We are trying so much. Yes.
How do you choose the topics that you have on your podcast? What makes a conversation worth sharing on your podcast? I've seen a bit of the topics. I must say I haven't watched the podcast yet. And some of the topics are really controversial.
Yeah.
So how do you choose them?
Okay, with controversial topics, it's one of those things we all have an opinion about, but then you don't have a platform to talk about it. Like, you're going to go to your parents and talk about some of these things. So we create a safe space where we can communicate. You can communicate with us through our comments, our socials. We always react to them. Then, let's say taboo topics. I don't want to say anything because I don't know who's watching. But then, it's like how we choose our topics is based on how the people feel at a specific time. Like, if we have a guest, before we invite them over, we talk to them, say, okay, I'm going through this. Can we please talk about this? I don't have a place to share. Yeah. You can come to us, we'll talk about it. And the things you're not comfortable sharing on air, you can talk to us off air. Then we just communicate about that.
So what type of guest would you say you normally have on your podcast?
Usually it's Instagram influencers,
Okay.
people with a lot of followers, because if you have a lot of people that are watching you and you're expressing yourself or making yourself vulnerable, they feel like it's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah. I want to know what goes into preparing for, shooting. When you go and sit down and finally, switch on those cameras, have the conversation, publish it. What goes on behind the scenes in preparing to just sitting? Because people think it's so easy. We just wake up, come here, sit and start talking. There's actually a lot of preparation that goes into it. Talk to us about that, especially from your perspective as a presenter.
From my perspective is, first of all, podcasting is not staged. Because then when we are there on stage, you talk what is, it's like we're not going with the flow.
There's no script.
There's no script. It's not scripted.
There's just guidance.
Yes. Yeah, we just get topics, as my manager said. We get topics, then we know that, okay, we're going to talk about A, B, C. But then if anything else you want to say comes in, then it comes in. But as long as we know how we're going to go upon. Then they are now setting up and everything. Because to be honest, we are going through a lot, but we're at least trying. Because,
what is the lot that you are going through?
Yeah, just making sure that the guests are comfortable, and we are also comfortable at the same time, and they have beverages and they have, they are comfortable. Let me just say comfortable. Yes.
From a manager's perspective?
From a manager's perspective, when it comes to preparing for an episode, usually you'll get a guest that's saying, I'd love to show up, but I don't have transport money. And then I have to take out from my personal money to pay for the person. Or like maybe a storage is not enough. We're shooting something and then you just say, hey, storage is finished. And like we continued shooting for like an hour, but then we didn't know that it stopped recording an hour ago. Then now it's a thing of like you have to come redo the same jokes, redo the same everything. It's not the same energy, So real laugh and everything. So yeah, it is challenging. Yeah, we have a lot of our challenges, but we're still gonna push regardless.
You're pushing.
Regardless.
You've been pushing.
It's been pushing.
Yes. For those who would like to be part of the podcast, how can they get hold of you to say, hey, I have this story to tell and I want to be on your podcast? Is that a platform that is open, or you solely go out looking for individuals to feature?
It is open. First of all, we on our social medias, every week, every Sunday we upload it. Okay, guys, if you want to be part of the podcast, you can apply. But there are restrictions. You cannot just come on there and just... Because then everybody will want to be on. Because then now I feel like since the celebrities and artists were on, people will also want to be just coming there volunteering. But then you should at least have a story behind before we at least let you on.
Okay, so there's a vetting process.
Yes, ma'am.
That you do.
Yes.
All right. You mentioned a social media platform where you share this. What are these platforms, and how can people, where can people find these platforms with social media?
Okay. On Instagram, it's view_one's podcast. On TikTok, it's Fan of Media. Yeah, those are the two platforms we are usually engaged in. Then with YouTube, of course.
Yeah. You mentioned that there's sometimes costs involved, or there's costs involved all the time, but sometimes the costs go up to you funding the individual that needs to come on the podcast. What are the benefits for the two of you, particularly, or for you as an organization from hosting this podcast?
Benefit.
Yeah.
I'll let him start with that.
Okay.
Yes, Elao.
Okay. The benefits are for us, is that we are trying to open eyes that can't be opened. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, we're trying to open eyes that people really just, I don't know, like for us, benefits basically, it's just, okay.
Do you know why I'm asking this question?
Yes,
Somebody out there is watching, and they also probably have this brilliant idea of starting a podcast, and they're wondering, but what am I going to get out of it? Am I not just going to keep pumping money into a podcast, but nothing comes back to me? So I guess that will help you answer the question better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me answer it. What we get out of it is not really a lot, because it's out of passion.
Passion.
Yes, it's not driven by we want to make money, we want to do that. Of course, money is a necessity, right? But then that's not the sole purpose why we do the podcast.
Yeah.
It's passion, and anything behind passion can really put the dollar behind that.
But do the YouTube platforms pay in any way?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what would you say are some of the goals then? I think this is where money comes in that you have for the podcast.
The goals.
Yeah.
We're dreamers. We're very ambitious.
Okay.
So we want to be, first and foremost, want to get that platter. You know, that YouTube thing.
Silver
The
platter?
100,000
Yeah.
subscribers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
October we have it.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, like I said, very ambitious,
Yeah.
right? So that's for me is one of the goals. I don't think there's a lot of Namibians or even a Namibian that has that. I'm not sure if I'm wrong. Please correct me. But yeah, so we want to at least be the first or be one of the few
Okay.
that have it. So
To get
that's
the
what-
YouTube click.
Yes.
Okay.
You know. Then of course the other goal is host people like Miss Gideon, Yeza, Gaza,
Local artists.
local artists. You know, people that you look like and be like, probably they're perfect. They probably have everything figured out. But then when you bring them, you see them like, oh, so you also have your own challenges.
Yeah.
Then people can relate to them more. So I'd love to host those people. So those are a few goals that we have.
In conclusion, Elao, talk to us about the podcast. When do you drop new episodes? How can the viewers that are interested in now becoming viewers of your podcast as well tune in?
Okay. Recently we started dropping every 2 days per week.
Okay,
So every
that's a lot.
Tuesday and Thursday we shoot.
Yeah.
Then we drop every Sunday and every Wednesday. Because then we are trying to raise awareness, especially to the people that are trying to start this YouTube thing. Because social media is not easy. You get different challenges and then you'll want to start something, but then based on your challenges, you're like, nah, it's okay, let me give up. So the reason why we are doing it is just to keep that motivation up to people that are also in it. So, I'm just emotional.
Your final remarks, Advocate?
Our final remarks, please, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Viewers Podcast.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for coming. All the best with your podcast.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay,
Hope you subscribe though.
I'll definitely check it out.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was a conversation that I had with Elao Ipinge as well as Advocate Simasiku, and they are from the View Once podcast, youth that are driven to continue conversations. They say that not many people have the guts to touch. Well, the View Once podcast is available on YouTube and you can catch it there. Subscribe and watch.